to my channel. My name is Rena. If you're new here, then welcome. Today we're gonna dive into my bronzer collections here. To be honest, I think I really don't have as many as I thought, which is a great thing. I don't need this. Let's just take them out on the table and then we'll go through them in different categories. Haven't figured out how we're gonna do this. Okay, I've got 12 bronzers here. Really, for me, this is a really good thing. I haven't had as many as I thought. We're gonna separate them into drugstore and sort of high-end or department store. Let's talk about all the Fenty ones here because I've been really enjoying this. First, I've got two Fenty stick sort of bronzers here. I might just zoom in, guys, a little bit more. I'll try to swatch everything on the hand here. So the first one that I've got from Fenty is in the shade Amber. This is a very classic shade for contouring. I really enjoy the creamy texture and it blends easily into your skin. You just don't have to put a lot of effort into it and they just make the whole contouring perfectly on your face. And they have different shades, so even if you're having like darker or lighter skin tone, you can definitely find a one for you. This shade I found is really like friendly for the majority of the Asian skin type, so light to light medium, even for fair skin tone, because you can control the amount that you put. You add more, they obviously give you more a sculpting sort of color payoff. And then we have a mini size. This is the color Cinnamon. So the mini size come within their like holiday collection travel site. So this one comes with a bit of shimmer. I can still use it as a bronzer color, but I know it having a bit of hint orange sort of underneath. So if you're having very fair skin tone, you can even sort of go as a bronzer sort of blush product all in one. I use it as a bronzer and it works perfectly. The shine it gives is just so beautiful. It's not too glittery and yet the creamy shade just add that sort of juiciness onto the skin. So I quite enjoy this one and I actually like the small version better than the bigger size. So if they do come up with like all their sticks with a mini size, I might even consider get them rather than the big full size one because it's gonna take me forever to even finish one big one. Well, I mean even a one small one's gonna take me a long time. And then we also have a small travel size powder in the shade Shady Beads. This one is a full matte powder. Is having a little bit of hint of yellow underneath. This is a quite typical bronzer color in my opinion. It works well, but I actually prefer their stick formula way better than the powder, and that is why I've never gone and purchased another full-size ones. But I think their powder formula is just workable. It's not the best, but their cream one is really good. And then this is in the shade 01 Amber as well. I was always trying to get the stick and then it was always sold out. So I just went ahead go buy this cream Amber. I thought it will work the same, but actually they work differently. I still like the stick a little bit better. I figured this cream one, it's workable. I mean, it's still really good. And it's quite similar, but I still notice once it gets onto my face, it looks just a smidge different. And I found this one to be set pretty quick on my face as well, so I have to blend it quickly before it gets completely dry. If it dry, it does leave a bit of harsh line. So if you ask me to choose, although they're all in the shade Amber, I think it'd be safer to go with the stick first. But if you enjoy their cream formula, I know they have like blushes as well, but I haven't get any. I'm just not good at a cream blush in general. You can try on this. Like the shade is perfect. I actually think this is a hint bit darker than their stick. And then I have a small travel size Clinique bronzer as well. Oh my gosh. This is their true bronze pressed powder in the shade Sunkissed. This is actually a really stunning bronzer. I don't think they're giving as a gift with purchase these days, but they used to do a lot. They also, I remember receiving their eyeshadow quad as well, just to try out the Clinique product. You can tell this shade is very subtle. If you're someone new to makeup and you're still wanting to get not so dark contour shade, look at the Fenty one versus the Clinique. The Clinique is more sheer, so it's less easily to make a mistake, or it's easier to fix your mistake, and giving just a teeny tiny hint of shine. It's almost a matte, but it just has that teeny tiny bit of sheer glow if you look at very closely. These two shades in comparison, I definitely like the Clinique one a lot lot better. I took this one with me for this year's holiday when I went for travel. I just enjoyed it so much. I can't believe I've never used it. This is in my collection forever, but I only just popped it out last year and starting to using it. I feel so bad. I should start using this way before. I would fall in love straight away. And then the last high-end bronzer here, we have the MARC JACOBS. I've got in the shade 106. I really enjoyed this one as well. I mean, look at this packaging. I have a weird obsession. High-end ones, the makeup brand that I have obsessed with is MARC JACOBS. Drugstore-wise, I really obsessed with Essence. Like, for some weird reason, I just don't know. I guess the first couple products I tried from MARC JACOBS just worked perfectly, and I just fell in love ever since. The bronzer color paired with this creamy white pen, I just love this packaging, and a very, very decent sized mirror. So you can probably tell the MARC JACOBS one having a bit hint more dark in shades and a little bit more warmth compared to the Clinique one. So on the day when I really want to contour and bronze my face all in one, this is the color that I would go for. The formula works so good. It lasts on your face all day long and it blends effortlessly into the skin. If you are already like found your perfect shade and you know you want a matte powder bronzer, you want to invest in a little bit, I do recommend MARC JACOBS. I think it's really good, and this big pen here is gonna last you forever long. It's worth it, and it's so pretty. I don't mind it's a huge pen. I just don't like when they're too thick. Like this one takes too much of space. I know this is big, take up space, but it's slim, so it's easily to store it. Well, at least in my opinion. I prefer a bigger pen size but a slimmer thickness versus a small size but quite chunky packaging. Alright, so those are all my high-end. Let's move on to my drugstore ones here now. First, let's talk about this very iconic product here. We've got the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I've got in the shade Bronzer. I think this shade for me is a little bit too light. I mean, I can make it work, but I would pretty much prefer a bit of darker shade if possible. Like if you compare these together, this just have that hint of warmth that is a little bit more orangey than the Fenty, and it's a little bit more orangey than the Clinique. Obviously a lot lighter than the MARC JACOBS. I just don't think it's having the perfect tone for me, although it's very workable, and I know there are so many hypes about this one, and maybe that's why I'm not liking it as much as I thought. The hype that I received even before I purchased this, I just imagined this will be the best bronzer from Drugstore, even just cross the whole bronzer world, but when I got it, it was like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's really good, workable. I might even try to pick up another shade if I can get it when it's on sale. And that's the other thing. Physicians Formula in Australia, it's not like cheap brand. It's not as cheap as Essence. So I guess it was really good when it first came out. It's very creamy, lasts all day long. But these days, drugstore bronzers have stepped up a lot, crazy amount. So it's no longer the best. But if you want to try one of the Physicians Formula's product, so I actually enjoy their butter blush more than their butter bronzer and their butter highlighter. I've got those as well, so I think their blush from their butter range is a good one to try. And then let's talk about this Essence one. This is their Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. I've got in the color 02 Sunny, so it's in a dark shade for darker skin here. Although it says for darker skin, oh, look at the print, it's very pretty. Although it says for dark skin, I think it's very light in my opinion. Like it's even lighter than the Physicians Formula ones that I just tried, and it's not having a very good pigmentation. Like I'm literally going back and forth into the pen trying to swap some of the color on the hand. So there we go. Now we're building up a little bit. This is definitely one of the palette if you are very new to the bronzing world and you want to get a big pan to play with. You will never make a mistake with this because the color payoff, you have to go back so many times to actually create a very light sort of either bronzing or contour, however way you want to use it. I think it's still a good palette for beginner because when I was starting using bronzer, the first thing that I'm afraid of is I apply too much. I don't mind adding it on and practice until until I'm comfortable with one swipe. You can always build it up and easily brush it away if you apply it too much. I quite enjoy it. The lasting power definitely not as good as the ones that I mentioned, but it's a really beginner friendly palette if you're looking for one. And it's a huge size. This gives a good satisfaction. I know, I enjoy this. Like every time I hold this palette, I'm like, I feel good, secure. I've got a huge pen here for me to use forever. And then we have the Savvy by Designer Brands Graduating Bronzer. This one I just recently talked about in my speedy review testing new makeup. I like it more than what I thought. I really enjoy it now because they give you 3 shades here, and all 3 having a bit of shimmer sort of in it, but it's nothing too much. So the lightest one here is almost on par with the Essence one, and then you have a darker one here, and then you have a one sort of in between. And this color I think is quite similar to the Fenty Beauty one, the Shady Beats, the third one over here. I think these two looks having a smidge similarities, but it's still more warm tone in my opinion. So what I like this is you really have 3 shades all in one little palette, and you can make it work contouring, like really sculpt your face and adding that sheen on top of it. And although they're all having shimmers, when you swatch on your hands or apply it on your face, you realize it's not that glittery as I imagined when I was looking into this pen. I thought, oh my gosh, it's gonna be too much, but you know, actually it's not. This is also really good for beginners. You're starting to learn different shades. You start like wanting to play different shades and to see if you can build up that graduating sort of effect on your face. It's working well for me, and you can also mix them together and just apply like one stripe so it's not too harsh. And the formula is very creamy and lasts all day long, and Savvy by Designer Brand from Priceline is very affordable as well. This one is actually better than the Essence. Essence one just takes literally forever to have the color pay off, but it's really friendly for a beginner. And then we also have this one from Big W. This is the BOE Beauty bronzer. I don't know if they still have this particular product. You can only get it from Big W. It's their house brand. This is much a shimmer shade, and it's quite powdery as well. This one definitely has a lot more warmth compared to all of these ones. I think this has had the most red color in it. I have this one for a long time and I haven't been playing it enough to see how I like it now. This is definitely a summer color when you want to have that sun-kissed color. To be honest, I haven't been using it a lot recently, so I can't remember if it lasts all day long, but I remember it was fading a little bit at the end of the day, and then the shimmer on top of the bronzer would start to sort of spread across your face. So that is something I remember I wasn't liking it so much. I might just have to play it a little bit more and to see how I feel about this one. It's very affordable though. All their products are like $2 each, so it's like the Dollar Tree here in Australia. And then we have this Jillian palette. This is a self-magnetic palette. So I've got a couple things here. This is a Natasha Denona eyeshadow from Sephora, so that's not what we're going to talk about here. I do have a, oh, this is actually considered as high-end, I guess. This is the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. I bought this one because everyone's saying, oh my gosh, you need to have it. It's an iconic product. You really need it. When I swatch it, I'm like, yeah, I know it's not working bad, but is it really the best that you have to have it in your collection? For contouring wise, I definitely prefer my Amber way better. For bronzing wise, I actually prefer my MARC JACOBS and CLINIQUE. This color sort of sit in between the warms and the cools that I like. So it's not bad, it's working okay. I guess this is very similar to the Physicians formula. The hype is there that is too much. Even before I purchased it, I've already given it a high hope, and because I've already tested out some other products, so my mind has already set at a very high expectation, and when I received these two, I'm like, it's good, but it's not that good. So if you are wanting to go for a very safe bronzer and you have the budget and you want to go for like a department store brand, Benefit Hoola is a very safe option. You definitely won't make any mistakes. I have other ones I like more. I'm not regretting getting it, I just don't think I will ever need it forever in my collection and rave about it so crazy like, you know, all the others. And then this one, I broke it when I depotted it. This is from W7. I believe it's also called Hoola or something similar. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Hoola bronzer, but when you swatch it, you'll realize the shades are slightly different. This one's definitely more pigmented, and I think it's a little bit more dark. It's very similar to this one here from the Savvy by Designer brand, and it's actually a little bit similar to the titanium that I've got from MARC JACOBS. I just think it doesn't have the best staying power on my face. It's working very good, very creamy. You can tell the swatch, that's one swatch that is very, very opaque. Just staying power wise, it's not the best, but there is a price difference, and the price difference are quite huge. This is like $5, and I can't remember how much is this one. If you're someone don't have to wear makeup for the entire day, then W7 is good for I'll say 4 or 5 hours, but MARC JACOBS is like all day long. From the minute you put it on until evening time or night time, when you remove it, it's gonna be there. So I definitely enjoy this a little bit. The last but not least is a quick mention. This is the brand, the same brand's here, called LEEN. This is a Chinese brand. I'm not quite sure if you can get it from AliExpress. Maybe, I haven't checked because I bought it from the China official website. So this one, it says it's a cheek color, said Velvet Cheek Blush BO01, but it's definitely a contouring shade in my opinion. It's quite gray tone. I really like this one. I believe they are duping for the MAC Omega eyeshadow. This sort of color is perfect around the nasals to give you that tall nasal look, particularly like me. I don't have a nasal bone. I mean, I do, but it's just very not pretty. I'm having trouble even wearing just normal glasses because it wouldn't stay around my nose. This one really sculpted my nose, but I always forget to use it. However, the few times that I use it, I really enjoyed it. It's very creamy and it lasts all day long as well. That is everything for today's video. I'm so happy that I don't have many bronzers, so hopefully this video won't be as long as my concealer or my primer, because those are 100 minutes long. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribe down below. I hope you have had a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!